Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. I hope you're festive. I hope you're ready to be silly and cozy and all things Lightfall because we're back. We're back for round 4, I believe. Lightfall is our winter cold season celebration that the world of Aeldia celebrates. It's the season of very active northern lights, and it's just one of those natural phenomenon that just does not get old, even if you live in the world of magic, apparently. Once upon a time, Lightfall was a favor exchanging tradition, and it then since moved into a more gift-oriented, cozy appreciation season. And whilst we are at Orilium, we of course have the very famous, the Old Favor Pass section of the town, which we do have a map of. And we also have a very festive ASMR room that has been here for a couple of years and genuinely still my favorite ASMR room that I've done. It's not too Christmassy, doesn't have like the tunes that we know, but it does have this kind of cozy ambience and I'm genuinely still very proud of it to this day, and I do actually unashamedly watch it myself. If you are new to Magical Readathon, where we create a character to play a magical scholar and attend a very prestigious academy every year for 2 semesters. The semesters are finished for 2025, but that does not mean if you're new and you're discovering this now that you cannot join us in the winter fun. Because you can. You absolutely can. Actually, it is one of the best times to start, I would argue. Because it is just a mini readathon. It's only a week long and it is much more relaxed than the other semesters. I also will always link the Discord link down below. And you can join there, and if you have any questions, there are so many people that will know the answer. Some of them better than me. I get lost in this world myself quite a bit. Let me get back to Lightfall. Historically, we have had an opportunity to visit different shops. If you do want to hear more about the shops, I will also link the previous Lightfall announcements there, which does go into more of an introduction for each magical store of goodies if you are interested. And then you could decide what your character wants to peruse in particular and find the allocated prompt to the shop and visit there. Last year we had a Lightfall advent calendar and that was fun. And this year we're gonna have a bingo card. So a lot of you guys will be familiar, but if you're not, each square in the grid will have a reading or otherwise prompt. I will walk you through them. And once you fulfill said prompt, you simply cross it out. And we have had some bingo cards in the past, but they were always retrospective and somewhat like an additional thing. And this time around, we are gonna have the bingo card as the main event. Kind of scratched my head and thought long and hard as to how to make this bingo card correlate to the kind of pre-existing system that we have. Because of course, every time you visit a shop, you get a stamp. Absolutely optional, so don't stress about it if you're new. You can get a stamp in your Old Favor passport, which is basically like your coffee stamp system, completing the challenge and supporting the small local magical business. So I wanted to incorporate this into the bingo card. And because I'm keeping it this year to a full week rather than 9 days with the weekends on each end, we are celebrating from the 15th to the 21st of December, so it is just like a full week, nice and tidy. I've decided to just be extra merry and scrap the 1 prompt per 1 book rule. This Lightfall, we can double up, triple up, quadruple up. If you happen to find one singular read that actually fulfills all of the prompts, fantastic. Well done. And if we continue doing more Lightfall celebrations, I think I'm gonna incorporate this as a rule because it's festive and, you know, end of the year is always just a little bit more stressful for everything. It's dark, people get extra sad. Holidays are also cozy and exciting, but also very rough. Let's actually get to the bingo card. To visually represent what I kind of did here, the very inner square that is hugging the Orilium logo is our shops. You may notice that there's 8 of them, so that does mean that we have a new shop on the block, which I will talk to you about in a second. But these are the ones that actually correspond to the shop. And coincidentally, but very much on purpose, these are also the only reading prompts that we have on the entire board. So 8 prompts and no limits to however you want to attach it to your books. And then the surrounding square is actually your self-care, fun things, cozy stuff to do. Of course, very limited spaces on the actual board, so I thought I will clarify a little bit of what the prompts are. I've attached little logos there as well, but it is a little bit hard to see, so this video hopefully will help clarify which shop it is and which prompt it is attached to that shop. Left corner we have our All Tales bookstore, the moody, very gothic-y, very atmospheric place if you want to peruse there, and the prompt for this is a blue cover, and we have our designated occult shop of the block, and it's called Occult Premonitions, and the prompt for this is a 4+ stars rating on whatever platform you use. be that Goodreads or Storygraph or anything of the sort. And then the top right corner, we are at the general goods store of Smiths and Sons and Friends, Arcane Things and such. Every single year, I cannot like remember it. To fulfill this prompt, you have to find a book between 300 and 400 pages. Going down now, we have the Owlcat Craft Cafe, and the prompt is a cozy read. Now, I'm leaving this very vague. It could be something that is genuinely classified as a cozy book, because 'tis the season to get cozy and whatnot. I know there are some people who will consider certain themes or settings cozy. You to be the interpreter of what this means, what is cozy to you. Bottom right corner, we are of course at the Rich Pigeon Pub, which is our beloved bird-themed place to get a hot or cold drink of your choice. And we have another cover color prompt, but this time it is primarily white. To the left is our new shop, which I'm gonna leave till last. So moving into the bottom left corner, Wallace's Wonderful Winter Animals, which is a snowy petting zoo, and it asks for a winter setting. It can be on the cover, it can be as a theme in the actual book if it happens during a snowstorm or anything of the sort, maybe just a holiday season in general. So a slightly dodgy goods and services, Shank and Shoal, and the prompt for this is to read a standalone book. And now for our new addition to the Old Favor Pass. It is Doughvanthea's flower arrangements. The character you know, probably your course mate, a fellow scholar, is venturing into a little side quest of opening her own bakery shop, filled with puns, good time, and all things cozy, with a little, slightly maybe unsanitary helper, Slippy of course, and a speedy, very cheerful delivery service hosted by Jacques. So we're doing a little thing. This may or may not be inspired by me just baking way more this year than I have ever baked in my life. I just thought it would be fun. And fun fact, my sourdough starter was called Doughvanthea as well. I've since accidentally murdered that one, but that's okay. It lives on in Lightfall. That's actually where it's gone. We'll go with that. And of course the character name is Doughvanthea. Doughvanthea. You get the gist. And flower arrangements. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. So I have a little side graphic and fun things to do with the new shop, but obviously, fittingly, the prompt for this is to read a new release. It doesn't have to be super recent. If you want to, it can be, but 2025, I would say would do. The outer square of the bingo card contain non-reading prompts. If you don't want to do any of them as well, do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, but if you do want to, this is what we got. So a lot of them are self-explanatory, but I'm still gonna go through them. So let's just start at the top left and go around again. So we have bake something, then to read when it's dark, and if you live in this hemisphere, very easy since it gets dark literally at 4 o'clock. Third prompt is donate. This can be donating money to a cause that you believe in. Does not have to be monetary. It can be donating some of all of your clothes to shelters. As the winter can be quite harsh, it's also a very good time to do a declutter if anything, especially woolly or of your warm clothing variety needs to go. Make sure that it goes into a charity shop. Helping out is also donating your time, so you can stretch this prompt to fit whatever you want it to fit, however you want to interpret it. Basically help out and do a good deed. Next one is play a game. Board game or video game would be great choices for that. And the last one in the top row is to suggest a book. I highly suggest actually looking for someone asking for suggestions for a particular prompt and specifically answering people, because I just think it's interactive. Oh, I did put Lightfall ASMR on there, I actually forgot. But for the sake of it, you literally can just click on it and click away and it would still count. But I do think it's a cute one to have on. Next one is to DIY a festive card. This can be with watercolor. I made these like silly cats with one of my Patreon crafty hour live streams. It was a lot of fun. It was so easy. Next is to drink a hot drink. The last prompt is to window shop. This can just be stuff to put on your wish list, stuff. You can also use this as a prompt to look at a upcoming releases for next year, for books to have on your radar, even if you are gonna get them from your library later on. That is why it's called window shopping. So you don't actually have to spend any money because we have virtual stuff to shop for that costs actual no real money. But it can be anything you like. It doesn't have to be books. Going to the left, we have a little stroll to go for a walk, watch a movie. Then we have a sweet treat, of course. And the last one in the bottom row is to share your read somewhere online or with a friend. Going up is finish a craft. So I know we love to start a craft, but this one specifically says to finish one. So it doesn't have to be started now, but something to complete would be fun. Next is a staple. I feel like we always have it, but chicken on a friend. Can be a family member, can be anyone you know, an acquaintance, does not have to be a friend. I just had to put something there and there's not a lot of space. And then lastly, light a candle. As always, please adjust anything to your liking. Do not stress about the particulars or the specifics. Also, if you cannot complete it, that is also absolutely okay. But on top of that, if you do, then scroll a line vertically or horizontally. We're not doing diagonal. I know this keeps coming up, but I don't understand why, because like the very corner is just literally one tile. If you go like horizontal, then it's just two. Anyway, it's just vertical or horizontal. Fill in the entire board and you actually cross off everything in that week. You get extra 50 guild reputation points. So the entire semester's worth. And then a little additional thing that is not to do with any points and genuinely is just for flavor, which is pun intended, is that for every successful row, be that vertical or horizontal completed, you get a free treat from Doughvanthea's flower arrangements, locally just known as Doughvantheas. People just call it Doughvanthea because otherwise it's just very long. I gave Logan a list of the bakes that I believe Doughvanthea would invent for the shop, for this season at least. And he did such a beautiful job with the prompts that I gave him to actually create these and how they look like. I think some of them are genuinely so beautiful and cute. And then I made this into this graphic for you to basically have a menu. They don't have like any particular magical ability. Some of them have like very minor enchantments on them. Overall, it's just like a nice little treat. But let me just walk you through them very briefly because I think you can kind of see what it is either way. So number one, we have a cat loaf, which is a type of sweet bread. Number two, we have a whisk taker. I am not gonna apologize for the puns because actually I had such a blast. The whisk taker is a collection of macarons with surprise flavoring. Number three is the frosted Frosties, which are giant candies, and they are primarily in the colors of Northern Lights, which you'll obviously is the big theme. Similarly with number four is Lightfall Delight, which is a slice of a pie and it's jelly based, so the inside is obviously again Northern Light Lightfall colored. Number five is Doughvanthea Special, which is a sourdough loaf. Honestly, this has like I just had so much fun with this as well, because since I think late last year I've been on a sourdough kick and I'm still making that and I'm expanding into making other things with sourdough. It's just been a great time. So because that is technically what I think would have started it all, we obviously had to have it. Then we have a Slippy cup. It's also kind of flavored jelly situation, but it looks like Slippy in a cup. Number seven is a little muffin called I Tarted. I feel like I'll just leave it at that. Number eight is for those who want a savory treat while they're perusing and walking in the Old Favor Pass. So it's these like sourdough breadsticks and really creamy cheese mixture in a little cup, but because it's cheese, we called it Rodent's Preference because I thought it was funny. Listen, I am a simple being and it's very apparent when you look at these names, because the next one, number nine, is simply the zest, and it is a zesty pie. This comes in lemon, orange, grapefruit. Number 10 is snowballs. We have coconut on the top, then we have like sticky nougat, and then inside I want to say we'll have kind of like a truffle chocolate. I'm weirdly passionate about this entire project. So number 11 is the one that has the most notable enchantment on it. It's called Smart Cookie. You can see that there's a D out of the chocolate chips on there for one, Doughvanthea, because it's cute, but also D for Distinguished is our top grade. This one does have a magical effect on it and it's quite a popular choice. It doesn't make you smarter by any means, but for up to 15 minutes after you've eaten this, it just makes your vocabulary just so pretentious. So every time you talk, it just makes you talk in a very distinguished, unnecessarily floral language with terms for everything that is just unnecessarily complex and like a walking fancy dictionary. But it is fun if you want to sound very posh for a little bit, because why not? Number 12 is the cinnamon bun, which looks like a bunny, and that and the Slippy cup, and honestly a lot of them, but the cinnamon bun, honestly, hats off to Logan, because this is one of the cutest. I would buy this in a millisecond. I think it's adorable. Number 12 is Nose Crime, and this one Logan actually did struggle with a little bit because he was like, I don't get it. I was like, it's subtle. It's really not. If you know me, you know that carrot cake is one of my favorite things, and I know this is not necessarily a popular opinion, but carrot cake is my jam. But I was just thinking snowman. because obviously the nose and the nose crime. I don't think Logan thought that one was very clever, but I like it, so someone tell me that it was okay, because be on my team. Give me validation. And number 14, of course, I had to include a croissant, because obviously that is the nature's crescent moon. Well, no, actually the crescent moon is the nature. It has these like crystal candies on top as well with like a little blue sparkles, which is very Doughvanthea themed, and of course is also part of the logo, which is just which is a star, because Doughvanthea is very celestial, of course, and then a croissant, and then those two make a D-ish. It's that one is slightly subtle, so it's the most buttery, the most crumbly, the most light and fluffy croissant you'd ever have in your life. And I wish I did as well. A staple, had to be included. So there's 14 things on the menu and 10 possible rows for you to cross off in the bingo card. So if you do all of them, by the end of that week, you might have had tasted the vast majority of the pastries available. I'm so curious what people are gonna pick. I don't know why I'm so invested in this. It's actually borderline extremely silly of me, but I am, and it's giving me joy, and so I'm not gonna question it any further. But that is actually everything. So again, inner square, reading prompts, outer square, fun little prompts. Every row you finish, you can get a treat from Doughvanthea's flower arrangements. If you finish the entire card, you get extra 50 points for your guild reputation points scale. Reading prompt completed gives you a stamp for the passport card for visiting that said shop. So that is the gist of it. If you don't want to mess with the points as well, and if you don't really care about that, you can just simply do the card. Can do the bingo card, and that's it. I'm hoping to hop on a little live stream when we start on the 15th. I don't know if I'm gonna do the closing ones or any in between. We'll just see how it goes. As always, we're quite relaxed here. Sorry, it's not particularly planned out. I want to say that's everything. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will answer them as soon as I see them, and thank you so much. Have a jolly time until I see you, and yeah, thanks for sticking around with my absolutely abysmal upload schedule. I appreciate you so very much, and I will speak to you later. Bye!